Welcome to Podcasts, recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcast, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
Good morning. Everybody look on your, I believe it's pink sheet, and we're going to sing our opening song, which is called Higher Place. And stand up for it. Yes. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. A higher place. A higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. A higher place. A higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. A higher place. A higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
A higher place indeed. Thank you so much for that opening song. Welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living. We are a science of mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and to make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. All we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Sandy Liebold, and I serve as a licensed spiritual practitioner here, and it's my honor to welcome you here this morning. If you're new to the center and here in person, please make sure you've received a welcome packet. They look like this, and they are available on the table in the back of the sanctuary. And if you're joining us on our global community, the same information is available on our website at cslportland.org. under the About Us menu tab. Either way, you'll find a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. On our website, you can also sign up for weekly emails that detail our events. You can register for classes and even get a free gift on your birthday. Who doesn't want a free gift? I invite you to explore all that we offer here. I have a few important announcements today. The first is about committing to PCSL as a member. Members and regular attendees here at Portland CSL know that we're in the midst of an intentional community co-creation process through which we will attract the right and perfect new senior minister. This morning, Reverend Christine will be giving us an update on that process as part of her message. And importantly, as part of that process, ultimately, PCSL members, you, will be invited to vote on the selection of our new senior minister. It's important to note that this voting will take place with registered members of PCSL, and we want to include as many of us as possible. If you've previously become a formal member of the center, please go on to the homepage of our website, contemplate the membership recommitment statement there, and submit your name and contact information. You'll receive an email confirmation of your membership status from the center. If you've not previously joined PCSL as a member, you may be wondering what it's about. Membership in the center is primarily an opportunity to deepen your spiritual growth as you experience a sense of ownership and belonging in this spiritual community. On a practical level, membership is required if you want to train and be licensed as a practitioner, to serve on our board of directors, and to participate in our leadership development program. And in this special time of co-creation, to vote on a new senior minister. For all these reasons and more, we encourage you to attend the upcoming new member gathering, also known as new member orientation, also known as membership class, after which you can become an official voting member of PCSL. The gathering is in 2 weeks. It's on Sunday, May 7th, from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, both upstairs here at the center and on Zoom. The gathering is free, but you must register in advance, either on the sign-up sheet that's at the back of the room or online. Online, you can find it by going to the Education tab, click on Other Classes and Workshops, and you'll find the registration there. We hope to see lots of people there. It's spring, or at least it's trying to be here in Portland, and it's time for our annual meeting. It'll be next Sunday, April 30th, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific, again, both on Zoom and in person upstairs. All members and potential members are encouraged to attend. The meeting will feature our accountant's presentation of center financial statements. Nadine Muller, president of our board of directors, will report on the past year and plans for the future. There'll be plenty of time for questions and answers, and light refreshments will be provided here in person. For this one, you don't need to register. Just stay after Sunday service or Zoom in. The Zoom link will be on our website. So please remember to put it on your calendar for next Sunday. In education ministry news, a hands-on, in-person only half-day workshop will be held right after our celebration service on Sunday, June 4th. The title is Beads of Grace, and Reverend Catherine Bonin will lead us in the use of beads in 9 different spiritual traditions. Plus, you'll be able to experience the delight of creating your own strand of prayer beads. Your registration includes a light lunch coordinated by practitioners Kate Barrett and Nancy Ashley. Also online is information about our upcoming summer term education offerings. Take a look and register now. And last but not least, I want to let you know about an upcoming opportunity for sacred service at Camp Cedar Ridge, the camp and retreat center that Centers for Spiritual Living purchased in Vernonia, Oregon. They are rebuilding the large meditation labyrinth that the teens made in 2009, and your help is much appreciated. The project will be on Friday, May 19th through Sunday, May 21st, and food and lodging are available if you wish while you're serving. Register through the volunteer tab on Camp Cedar Ridge's website. Practitioner Sean Larkin, who I see here this morning, has already signed up, and he hopes you'll join him. Today, we have licensed practitioners Nadine Moeller and Kathy Batten serving on High Watch. holding a sacred container of consciousness in the sanctuary and for our virtual community. Thank you to our practitioners. Today, our special music features Kelly Jones. Welcome. Oh, it doesn't feature Kelly Jones. Oh, oh no. Okay. Ken Brewer is our fabulous, dedicated, and here featured person. Well, that would be interesting. All right. Well, I guess I didn't double check that she was here. Anyway, and of course, our wonderful Friends Band, also with Ken Brewer and gang and friends. Today's message, Honor the Mystery, Embrace the Change, is by our dear interim minister, Reverend Christine Green. And our flowers today, as on most Sundays, are courtesy of Kat Jacobs. Thank you so much, Kat. You are our flower ministry queen, and we appreciate it. I've just dubbed you. So now sit back and relax, because I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came here to receive.
I embrace the new. I accept a new way of thinking. I embrace the new. I accept a new way of thinking. I accept, I allow, I embrace, and I say yes, 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 I say yes, 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 I say yes. I say yes. I embrace the new. I accept a new way of thinking. I embrace the new. I accept a new way of thinking. I accept, I allow, I embrace, and I say yes, 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 I say yes, 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 I say yes. I say
And now I invite you into this time of affirmative prayer. In this moment, just breathing breathing into yourself, feeling the divine energy that is within you. It is so good to know that there is just one power, one presence, one life, one love. It is all around us. It is ever present. It is there to guide us, to support us, and to allow us to enjoy life. This one spirit, this one power, it is spirit, it is God, and it is there with wisdom, and it's always providing us choices. And I know that my life and the life of each one of us here and each one of us within the sound of my voice, I know that each of us is a divine being having a human experience. Each of us is co-creating our life with that higher power, with that presence, with that guidance, with that wisdom. And here in this season of spring, we are presented all the time with change, opportunities for growth, opportunities for rejuvenation, opportunities to see things differently, to think about things differently, to grow, to change, to be our best selves. And I know that the universe is forever providing me with opportunities for growth and opportunities to choose what will be the right and best perfect action for me at this time in my life. And I know that's true for each of us, each of you, and I know that's true for this center as well in its organizational life. We are divinely guided, and we say yes. And so for this knowledge, for this knowing that we are at choice and that there are always good choices available to us, I am so grateful. And I know that this prayer is already answered with a resounding yes by that part, that aspect of spirit, which is always manifesting based on our prayers. And so now I just say, thanks be, blessed be, and together we say, and so it is. And now I invite you to just stay in this place of centeredness for a moment of meditation, contemplating change and how you are supported in change in your life.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I surrender to my greatest, highest good. I release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. Now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. I'm more loving every moment, every day. I surrender every moment, every day.
How beautiful. Thank you so much for short notice, all about change and being flexible. How about a round of applause for being flexible? Thank you. Very beautiful. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. It's a joy to be with you all. And thank you for those of you at home for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Ooh, okay. We are trying out a new microphone today. So Mark says I have to stand here, but I can't stand there. So I'm standing right here. So I'm so grateful to be with you here today. My topic is Honor the Mystery, Embrace the Change. And we have been working, the community has been working together to go through a healing process called the New Minister Co-Creation Process. And it's an opportunity for us to come, well, I'm going to explain more about that later. Let me, first of all, I want to acknowledge the community, the ministers, the practitioners, the board of trustees, and the co-creation committee. Thank you so much for your willingness and your service, for how you came together to do this practice together. I want to thank Reverends Robert and Karen Gifford of Wings of Prayer Ministry in Florida. Robert served as our tech support on Zoom this weekend and last weekend, and Karen held high watch for us. So thank you so much for your gracious service. And every one of you contributed to the process with your intention. And so I'm so grateful with your intention and your prayer. So what I want to do is share the experience with you today and reflect where we are now in the process and how you can participate in this process. So on Saturday, April 15, congregants came together to participate in the first part of the process. And this is to share the principles of co-creation. And there's two main themes of that day: to experience the power of group agreement, and to have a new experience, a new realization. And so as we begin to do the work of co-creation, we honor the understanding that inside of us, we all carry a minister, right? There's that inner knowing inside of us. And it's formed out of our past experiences. Some of those pluses, some of those minuses. but we have those experiences. And we tend to outpicture what we experienced before. We see a new minister through the filter of our beliefs. And so what we did was an upgrade process. We upgraded our experience of what we believe minister is. And what that looked like is it allowed us to come to a new idea, like looking at the old beliefs and creating a new way of looking at it. And we did healing work with a practice called Fear to Faith that helps us understand the experience of the past and bring it into the present moment for healing. So this was a very important healing process for us individually and collectively. And it established the foundation for the team of 12 that did the covenant creation work that happened this Friday and Saturday. And so I want to acknowledge those co-creation committee members. I'm going to ask you to stand at the end of this. Kay Cushing, Jason Hutchinson, Erin Rhonda Hurt, Debbie Pettijohn, Reverend Marilyn Sprague, Catherine Richer, Sean Larkin, Helen McCann, Rick Smith, Kathy Batten, Beverly Simpson, and Susan Feuerbach. So if you're here, would you stand, please, so we can acknowledge you. So what they did, they did a lot of homework. They had a lot of homework, a big homework assignment of reading and listening and taking to get ready to do this work. And so they worked not without you, but on your behalf. They were invited because they represent different segments of our community, and they were committed to do the work. And I was so moved by their commitment and their willingness to spend that amount of time and to participate in this process. And so this group did powerful healing work to bring about the sacred covenant that we're going to read together today. Because the idea is we attract what is like our thought, right? Science of mind. We attract what's like our thought. So what was revealed out of the work together in the sacred covenant is a new thought, a new idea, being open to newness. So the sacred covenant is not a wish list for the next minister. So, I'm going to stay right here. It's not a wish list, but it's a list of spiritual attributes, which are really about spiritual vision for your new minister. What's crucial is that we have to embody and realize within us the qualities we want to experience in a new minister, right? I do this in relationship classes that if we want a new relationship, we have to be the person we want to be, right? That we want to attract. We have to be that person that we want to attract. So it's the same thing. We have to acknowledge and embody in ourselves what we want to bring forth in our new minister. And this is a very powerful time in the life of this community, whenever one welcomes in a new minister. And we acknowledge everybody that has served this community. Think about it. Every minister, practitioner, board member, volunteer, every person that you've made contact with along your spiritual journey in this center has played a part in your evolution, right? They've played a part in your spiritual growth. And so how grateful we are for everyone that has brought us to this sacred moment. So we're here to welcome newness. The sacred covenant that we're all going to read today is intended to create an experience with you of your new minister that will help call this person to you. You'll notice that some of the statements are written as an I am affirmation. And it's because it's, like I said, it's important for us to acknowledge and embody those statements for ourselves. This is pure science of mind. We have to have the mental equivalent inside of us of that we want to attract. This experience is a very mature process. I think very often what we want to do in life is fill out an order form and give it to God, right? Please bring me this, just like this, and so they'll do what I want them to do. So they'll be the way I want them to be, right? It's not like that. It's not like that. We're working on a much deeper level in this process. It's about each of us stepping up into newness, becoming what we want to be, becoming the best that we can be. We say that the truth known is demonstrated. So the covenant that we're going to read declares how you see your experience of your new minister being unfolding in time and space. In other words, how Spirit is going to move through you to call into space the new minister who will love you and serve you in your divine unfoldment. So I invite you wherever you are, and here together we're going to stand. And does everyone have a copy of this pretty purple page? So let's stand up and we're going to read this together. And those of you at home, I invite you to stand up if you'd like. Okay. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community, Portland Center for Spiritual Living. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express Spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of Spirit as wisdom. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, to realize that God is ever present, ever available, is to know that all the wisdom, intelligence, and power of the universe is right where you are. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as lighting this safe space in unity, love, and belonging. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and in agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself, for I am inspired to align with divine wisdom so that all around me feel uplifted, strengthened, and loved. I am calling forth the awareness of oneness as my source of universal truth. I am demonstrating the power of love in leading and guiding PCSL in its expression of wholeness and abundance. I am expressing passion for providing broad educational opportunities for spiritual growth and experiences both in person and virtually. I am nurturing modern families, engaging our communities, and standing up for a diverse, equitable, and inclusive society. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed, that will express Spirit and serve the highest and greatest good, all those. I am grateful, God is gracious, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you. You can be seated. So you have just spoken your new minister into being. Isn't that exciting? So you are formally in a time of change. You've been in a time of change, but now it kicks up a notch. So I have 3 invitations for you. 1, to come into agreement with each other around this sacred covenant that you just read. Sacred means holy and covenant means agreement. Allow yourself to align with the words that were spoken here. Let your heart say yes. There is space, if you notice on that form, there's space for you to fill in your own intentions, your own personal intentions. I invite you to write them as an I am affirmation. It's done that way because it's important for you to affirm what it is that you want to experience for yourself. It reads as an I am statement so we can begin to embody these statements. It's not about ordering a minister who will do everything we tell them to do, but it's about us being that person and expressing that. This is about co-creating a new experience. And this is a very different process than most people experience. Most people, it's about going out and doing something. But what we know from the teaching is that it has to start inside first. We have to do the healing. We have to get right with the world inside of us before we can allow the outside world to come in. That we demonstrate that by our own growth, by our own practice. Every moment of this process was really surrendered to Spirit for the highest and greatest good. So you are invited to come into agreement and read this every day. Post it where you can see it. Say yes. As the group speaks it together in group mind, that's when things begin to happen. So it's very easy in a time of change for people to pull in different directions. And so this is a great opportunity. What this practice does is it provides us the opportunity to come together. We come together in one purpose with one vision. The second is honor the mystery of the process. You are not where you were, and you're not where you're going to be. Right? It's not about how it was, and it's not about how it's going to be. My friend, Dr. Kathy Hearn, calls this being firmly planted in midair. We're being firmly planted in midair because it's a free float. But the firmness of faith is what is underneath us. You are standing in deep faith, and you are in a process that leads to the revelation of a new minister. You don't know how or who it's going to be or how that's going to happen, but by reading the covenant, there's an energy and a vibration that's going out. And somewhere, a minister is receiving inspiration, and they're thinking, I think I'm ready for a change. Where do I want to go? And all the light from Portland is pulling them here. This is a mysterious and mystical process about oneness. You are calling in the right person. The practice is to be in the free float. Just be in the free float and allow the process to happen. Enjoy the feeling. Take it one step at a time. All you can do is take the step that you're on. Our human personality wants to know what's ahead, right? Yeah, we want to know what's going to happen next. Well, in this practice, we only can do the step we're in. We're taking one step at a time. The sacred covenant is the guide. It's the spiritual guide that will lead us in the direction that we want to go. Let your heart say yes. Add your personal intentions so they're real for you, they're true for you, and they speak to you. I invite you to embrace the words of a beloved teacher, Emma Curtis Hopkins. She said, "There is good for me and I ought to have it." Right? There's good for me and I ought to. Well, let's expand that and say there's good for us and we ought to have it. Will you say that with me? There's good for us and we ought to have it. Let's say that again. There's good for us and we ought to have it. Once more. There is good for us, and we ought to have it. And so it is. So know that for yourself. Speak that for yourself. As you know that individually, you're helping to add to the collective. So I know that there's good for me, and I ought to have it. I know that, and I expect that. And so my 3 invitations: come into agreement, honor the mystery, and the third one is embrace the change. Here's the thing. We are very clever beings, we human beings are. And we have very interesting ways of resisting change, right? Several years ago, I realized I love change, but I don't want anything to be different. Right? Right? I want the newness, but let's not change that. Let's keep it the way it is. But think about it. Life is in a state of change all the time. We're always in a state of change. It's important to let that in. It's important to open our hearts and our minds and let change happen. See yourself and experience yourself in a place of newness. What's the newness you want in your life? It might be something new, a new relationship, new job, new health experience. Whatever it is for you, claim that for yourself. So for me, this brings up the contemplation of what kind of mind do we bring to change? And there's 2 stories. And the first story is from the gospel. It's the parable of the sower from the Gospel of Matthew. So the farmer went out to sow seeds, and some of the seeds fell by the wayside, and the birds devoured them. Some of the seeds fell on stony ground, and they grew, but they didn't have enough roots, so the sun scorched them, and they died. Some of the seeds fell on thorns, and the thorns grew, and they choked the plants, and there was no fruit. But some seeds fell on good ground. The plants grew, the fruit increased 30, 60, 100-fold. The parable is about us and our minds. What kind of mind do we bring to change? The wayside mind is hard and resistant and impenetrable and is stuck in the past and does not allow anything to take root. The stony soil is a mind that has a little bit of spiritual practice, a little bit of soil to root the plant, but no spiritual practice. Nothing to deepen the growth. The plants sprout up, but they wither or die from the heat of the sun, or actually the heat of life. The thorny ground has the deep, right soil, but it's a kind of ground that's filled with negativity and criticism, and it chokes off anything new that begins to sprout. Have you ever known anyone like that? They try to do something, but the negativity and the self-criticism chokes it off. But then there is the good, deep, rich soil, which is the mind that is open, creative, and allows newness to take root and begin to grow. So the question for each of us is, what kind of mind am I willing to bring to change? We often reach for the good, but we have the qualities that stop us. You have the power to choose the kind of mind, the awareness, and the attitude that you bring to change and that you bring to the process. The second story is a Zen story from the East. And there was a student who went to visit a Zen master. And the Zen master invited him in for tea. And so while the Zen master was preparing the tea, the student began to talk. And he talked, and he talked, and he talked. And the Zen master patiently went about preparing the tea. And finally, the tea was ready, and the student was still talking. So the Zen master took the little teacup, and he began to pour the tea. And he poured the tea, and the tea was overflowing. Well, the student was still talking, right? But he suddenly saw that the tea was overflowing, and he jumped up and he said, "What are you doing? The tea is overflowing the cup." And the master said, "How can I teach you anything when your mind is so full?" How can I teach you anything when your mind is so full? When we think we know the answer, when we think we know it all, there's no room for anything new. When we're receptive and open to newness and change, we allow the experience to come in. We allow that change to take place. These are two stories from two different traditions, but they're about the same thing. How open are we? How open are our minds and hearts for newness to come in? Newness wants to take root here. We allow it to happen. This is a deeply loving and caring community with a lot of compassion. Don't you agree? A lot of wonderful, amazing people here. Everyone here, I know, has a commitment to a spiritual life, spiritual evolution. So the Sacred Covenant is a roadmap to having fertile soil and fertile thinking. And it allows you to empty your cup, be open and receptive to all that Spirit has in store. So people often ask, what's going to happen next? We have our Sacred Covenant now. So Reverend Julie Lobato is one of the leaders at Home Office, and she is going to be guiding the board on the next steps. That the board will be creating a candidating packet, and that will go on the website. And then ministers who are looking for positions will go on the website, and they get to read and see. And your Sacred Covenant is going to be there. It's going to be an indication of what is important for this community. Reverend Julie, they apply to Reverend Julie. Reverend Julie will send candidates that best meet our needs for this center. And so your committee will invite them to speak on Sunday and do a workshop. And there'll be always an opportunity for members to vote. That's why Sandy explained so beautifully, thank you, Sandy, and so thoroughly, if you want to participate, become a member. Please become a member so you can be part of this process. And not just to be part of the process, but to have ownership in the community. It's really about having ownership in the community, that this is your spiritual community, this is your spiritual home, where you do your work, where you live and grow with each other. So there's no timeline for this process. There's no timeline. That there's a lot of work has to be done before the packet can be prepared, and that will go on the website. And so however long that takes, trust the process. The new minister will arrive in the perfect time. If you're anxious about the process, please see a practitioner. Come talk to me, talk to a board member. Do your own work. This is an amazing opportunity to trust the process and trust leadership. You have an amazing board and a powerful group of practitioners that love this center, that are devoted to this center. So trust them, trust the process, trust Spirit. I love what Ernest Holmes says. He says, the highest attitude of mind from which all else springs is one of perfect calm and absolute trust in Spirit. Perfect calm and absolute trust. We're open and receptive. In the meanwhile, read your Sacred Covenant. Read it as often as you can. Let your heart say yes, and you will be deepening the consciousness to allow a new person who is in alignment with everything that's stated to come forward. So this is an opportunity to be in practice together and to just know it's going to happen in its right time, and there's no hurry. In the meantime, we're going to be going about our business as usual. I am here for the long haul, as long as it takes. So we're going to be doing this work together and welcoming in the new minister. Prepare your mind and your heart to do the consciousness work. Keep your eyes on the good that you have claimed. Let's say that again. Let's say, look at your neighbor and say, there's good for you and you ought to have it. There's good for you and you ought to have it. Then put your hand on your heart. There's good for me and I ought to have it. There's good for me and I ought to have it. And now open your hands. There's good for us and we ought to have it. There's good for us and we ought to have it. Yes, let's bring this together in prayer. So just taking a breath, knowing that the one power, the one presence, that one life, that infinite source of goodness is right here and right now. And each of us is that individualized presence of the Spirit, is of that oneness. And so what I know is the sacredness of this time is being revealed in each of us, that each of us holds that seed for love to grow, for newness to come, for us to be open and receptive. I know that something magnificent is being happening within each one of us, and that as we grow, as we expand, as we step into the newness, something powerful is being revealed, individually and collectively. I give thanks for the new minister co-creation process, for everything that happened, for how it all came together, and how it was demonstrated so beautifully. I am grateful for this community, for everyone that has stepped up, and for all the infinite possibilities yet to be revealed. How grateful I am. I give thanks for this recognition. I give thanks for all the work that's been done. I give thanks for the newness that we are about to receive. And I release this word in deep gratitude with an open heart, and together we affirm. And so it is. And so it is. Blessings. So, thank you. So this is our time for gracious giving. And Sandy, I forgot my notes. Do you have notes? I want to thank you for your gracious gifts. Your gifts allow us to be in the center, allow us to have the classes and the functions that we have, allow us to do all the things that we do. It's your gifts that make it possible for us. And so as the ushers come forward, we're going to accept and bless our gifts together. And this is call and response. I bless these sacred gifts.
I bless these sacred gifts.
Given graciously with love.
Given graciously with love.
These gifts bless, heal, and prosper all they touch.
These gifts
Bless, heal, and prosper all they touch. In giving, I am grateful to be richly and lavishly and abundantly blessed. In giving, I am grateful to be richly, lavishly, and abundantly blessed. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank you for putting up with me in Kelly's absence. She's fighting a bug and nursing her voice back to health. And also our regular drummer, Don Schultz, has had a little finger surgery this past week. It went well, but he's needing to stay home and rest his finger for a week or two. And we have Gene Ermel sitting in on drums today, doing a wonderful job. And I'd like to thank Paulette and Kristen for helping me out on this next song. What would I do if I knew I could not fail? If I believed the wind would always fill up my sail? How far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers tread. I never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you do if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a sea, there are miracles in you and me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, would the voice of courage whisper in my ear? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave?
So much. What a great song. And what a perfect song for today. So if there's anything that you're holding in your heart or in your mind, if you're having anything going on, please see our licensed practitioners. They are here for you. Today is Nadine and Sandy are here. They'll be up here in front for you, available to pray with you. And you can fill out a prayer request form in the back, or you can fill out one online, and the practitioners all pray, and the ministers pray for you throughout the week. So let's see. Did I get everything, Sandy? Did I miss anything? Okay, let's stand for benediction. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
And life is in my affairs.
Life is in my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I
Just the way that I am. Thank you, life. And so we go out this day with life, with love, with grace and freedom, knowing that all that we need is provided, and that all we have to do to remember is to look within and tap into that sacred space of love within each one of us. How grateful I am for this good. And we go out with love, and so it is.
Let's do our closing song, The Truth of Who I Am.
I am love, I am loving, I am love. I am love, I am loving, I am love. It's the truth of who I am, I forget. Spirit reminds me again. I am love, I am loving, I am love. You are love, you are loving, you are love. You are love, you are loving, you are love. It's the truth of who you are. Shine your light near, yes, near and far. You are love, you are loving, you are love. We are love, we are loving, we are love. We are love, we are loving, we are love. It's the truth of who we are. Shine our light near, yes, near and far. We are love, we are loving, we are love. You are love, you are loving, you are love. I am love, I am loving, I am love.
We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Our inspirational service is at 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our podcast listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.